Hi, I'm Dana from Dana's Epic Adventures, and I'm here with my friend Ivan, who loves travel and epic adventures just as much as I do. And we've actually been on a lot of the similar trips and done a lot of the same stuff, but we've done enough different things that he's giving me a lot of really cool ideas. So Ivan, have you done any less common extreme sports or adventures?
Yeah, one of the things that I recently did was go to Kiev with a friend of mine, which is in Ukraine, and they actually have tours where you can go to Chernobyl.
What?
Yeah, where it's the city that had the nuclear meltdown back in the 80s.
Right.
I remember reading about it and seeing it on TV when I was a little kid, so when the opportunity came up, I was like, well, shit, I want to check that out. So I went for it.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was legal. I didn't know it was safe.
Yeah, it's not only is it legal, but it's regulated. So, like when you book your tour, you do want to book it with a tour. They kind of take you to other places. There's different areas that they're going to make you go through and checkpoints to make sure that you're not going there to steal stuff or cause trouble or whatever the case. And really, it's a safety issue because it's still a radioactive zone, so they don't just let anybody in there willy-nilly.
Right, that's cool. Yeah. So was it creepy seeing old towns how they used to be and abandoned ghost town type stuff?
It was really bizarre seeing the way that everybody had to abandon the town, basically within the span of a day. They had the fire in the nuclear reactor. Mm-hmm. So the first responders showed up and they're trying to put out the fire, but they also had to notify the town hey, everybody has got to back up just a couple of things and go. So what we actually saw was how people left the place 30 some odd years ago. And then you add to that a lot of the decay, a lot of the buildings aren't being kept. So there's a lot of wood rot, there's a lot of things that are falling apart, which is why you want to go with a tour guide. So, you don't go anywhere dangerous. But yeah, it was really creepy seeing this city that was just completely empty, except for tourists.
Wow. So how was, what were you expecting going in? A tour of Chernobyl, that sounds awesome.
Well, it was what I was expecting because, they pick you up in a bus from Kiev and they drive you to the town. It's 3 different stops. They've got the actual stop in the city of Chernobyl, which is kind of like a small village, I guess. Then from there they take you to the nuclear reactor, and then they take you to the city of Pripyat, which has the bigger buildings and stuff. What I wasn't expecting was that there's 2 actual military checkpoints where they stop. Everybody has to get off the bus, and then these armed guards, military, come up with you with their AK-47s, and they ask you your papers, and they kind of stare you up and down, and that was pretty intimidating. So that was nerve-wracking a little bit, but everybody kind of goes through it, and then you go about your thing. And then on the way out, they make you go through this radiation checkpoint where they put you through a machine and make sure that you're basically clean, for lack of a better term, before they let you go home. So I wasn't really expecting all of that, and that made it a lot more nerve-wracking. But at the same time, I was expecting, there's radiation everywhere, I'm probably going to get sick or something, I don't know. And it really wasn't that bad at all. I'm still here, so.
You want to tell about it?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome. So I've never been to Kiev. I don't even know how to get a visa or if I wanted to go on this type of a trip, how would, obviously you can't just show up in Chernobyl.
No. You book your flights there, obviously.
Uh-huh.
All you need is a valid passport. There's no visa requirements to get into the country.
Wow.
A friend of mine was going to travel there, but apparently there was a visa restriction on one of the layovers that he had.
Oh.
So that was bizarre. But I went, my stops were New York, this little town of New York, and then connected to Ireland. So there was no paperwork needed there. Then from there it was jumping to Germany and then to Kiev. So that was it. No visas, no requirements, no nothing. I just kind of went right through. And then once you're there, I ended up booking the tour with a company called Solo East, which was the company that I had booked beforehand. You had to make your reservations and all that. They ask you for your passport information and citizenship paperwork because they actually have to run that through, I guess, some official channels before they okay you to go. So you have to be cleared before you go. And I think that's what had to do with the checkpoints is they're making sure that they're checking everybody who's on the bus and everybody who's supposed to be there is supposed to be there. So, yeah. So that's really basically it. You fly in there and then, you can make your reservations beforehand, obviously, and they'll pick you up pretty much from where we happen to be staying. They picked us up from the square of Kiev, which is this big giant, I guess town center that's an underground mall, but above ground it's just a square, which is, people walk around and stuff. But yeah, they picked us up right there, which is really close to the apartment we were staying at. So, because of the convenient.
That's Awesome. Yeah, that Chernobyl. I didn't think you could visit the site of a, nuclear explosion.
Yeah, it was.
Down.
I was amazed because like they really give you the story of like what happened, when it happened, how it happened, like what all the people had to do and how they reacted to it, and like they talk about the wildlife there and like how the animals kind of like they died or like had to leave, but how they're starting to come back slowly. And I even ran into this little red fox called Simon, who when we got off the bus at this one stop, where there's like the sign for the city of Pripyat. Like this little fox came out to greet us. Like the second we got off the bus, like there he was wagging his little tail and like happy to see us.
Wow,
so that was kind of cool. I like that.
Awesome. Thank you, Ivan. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend it. I really do.
All right. Well, I hope to see you on another adventure soon.
I'll keep you posted.